Guys, who's new in the last couple of months? Hi, welcome. Oh, gentlemen, we're already acquainted. Hi, I'm Kylie. How are you? Hi, lovely to meet you. Which office are you at?
Kempsey.
At Kempsey. Awesome. So Alicia, where's Alicia? This is Alicia down here. I don't know if any of you have met Alicia before. Alicia, see you, Dave. Alicia makes me look good online, which is no mean feat. So when I was in sales and I was doing selling, I used to say, oh, I don't do technology. Well, guess what? If you don't do technology, technology will do you. And I thought I knew a fair few things about marketing, because at Dow Jones, my job was to run the marketing team, and I've got tertiary qualifications in marketing. However, I've learned a heap since I've been working with Alicia. I think that's the great thing about having resources within your group. You've got great resources within your organisation, and we're going to probably challenge you a little bit today on some things with respect to brand and marketing. And I'm okay for pushback, by the way. So if you go, oh, I don't never hear this in sales training. If I get, that doesn't work in our area, fine, bring it on. If you've tried something and it hasn't worked, let's talk about it, open forum. But I want you guys to be able to walk out of today, help you get leverage quickly for your personal brand as a sales agent, grow market share, and get more stock leading into spring. Who'd be up for that? Yep. Write down one thing for me, if you wouldn't mind. Consistency builds trust. If you don't have pen and paper and you want to use a laptop, that's completely fine. I'll look over your shoulder later and see if you're on Facey. Consistency breeds trust. I actually just went through this with the leadership team a minute ago in leadership training. Beg your pardon? What do you think it might be?
Well, I don't know, you said right, so I thought.
What resonates for you?
Build.
Correct. When you go into a listing presentation, guys, or you get called into an appraisal or it's something that you've dealt with before, when are they more likely to list with you? It doesn't matter how good your listing presentation is, they're going to trust you, right? So if they like, know and trust you, you'll generally get the business. Trust is built from what? Consistency. Yeah, we're getting on board there. We need more coffee. Communication. What else? Relationships. Being present. Being accessible. What else? Knowledge. Results. All those things that you guys just said, do you think that's branding? 500% it's branding. So let's write down, this is a bit of a health check for you. What does my brand, being Elders Lifestyle Group, and your individual brand as an agent mean, and what are the touch points that I probably need to reflect on? Because when people think brand, they go, oh, my DLs, what I look like on social media. But let's actually take it a bit higher level than that. Let's start at the top. So communication. We talked about consistency. Communication would probably be to your database or your clients, would be the #1 branding exercise that I see most agents slip up on. So just 2 minutes, quick go. What are the things that you do with your clients around brand that might affect how many times you get called in or get called back? Go. How do you portray your brand and the company brand to the greater community on the Mid-North Coast? Don't overthink it, just bang. And if you're in management or ops here, do it for yourself as well and think of your internal customer being your vendor. So these guys in this room, so for sales management and Eliza, the people in this room are your internal customers. Almost need a whiteboard. Okay, throw some at me. DLs, yep.
Just listed the sub calls around the house.
The calls, how you deliver your calls and what you do affects your brand. Yep, because if you're short and sharp, arrogant, rude, that affects your brand. What else?
Future.
Pitch updates.
Yeah, so
Better to shout out.
your profiles, the digi-kits and stuff that you send out?
That was Andrew there.
Oh, didn't you know that? I think I yelled it, didn't I? What the hell?
I thought under the mask. You can't tell who is talking.
Pitch updates and webbooks. So web,
Yep.
I sent it to Andrew as well.
Yep.
So they see the technology that we're using.
Technology, your listing presentations, your pictures. What else?
Time of replies.
What's good?
Immediacy.
Yep. So responsiveness, how quickly you get back to people. Core pillars of customer experience, by the way, accessibility and responsiveness. So if you don't think for 1 minute that doesn't affect your brand, what else?
I had hotspots, so certain streets in your patch.
Farming area, so how you prospect and canvas. Yep. What's one?
I had referrals and responding to those who give you referrals.
Absolutely. So how you thank them, how you nurture it. Yep.
I have hotspot letters, so when there's a new listing in the area, you're going to go drop around.
So how you communicate with local homeowners. Yep.
I had consistent marketing, making sure it's keeping consistent with all your marketing that you're doing.
Yep. Go down a bit deeper for me and pick one.
Keeping in touch with your past clients, maybe.
Newsletter market updates.
Yep.
Perfect.
Keeping it personal, face-to-face, keep it clear and concise.
How you do your face-to-face meetings. It's probably the biggest element of brand. How you dress, your body language, really important.
I had sponsorships, so we sponsor, surf clubs and things like that.
Community integration. Yep.
We have a 2444 report which goes out every 3 months. Goes out to about 1,200 clients.
I get it. Love it.
Look at the way you treat the general public. So just out and about.
Overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I'll do a little thing with just getting that coffee van at my auctions lately and just inviting all the owners and stuff around just to try and promote our auctions in Creso.
So is that like with Domain or REA, or you've just got one locally you use?
There's a lady I normally use, but my last auction they broke the machine, so
Giving back
kind
and
of false hope there, but yeah.
yeah, giving back and nurturing. What do you think is important from a branding perspective,
I
Eliza?
put like presence within the group for myself.
Okay. Yep.
I didn't have anything different to the others.
Not just being available to the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Because if they can't get you, then I was saying, look after your people, or someone else will. Yeah.
Personal branding.
Personal branding. Did we get one from you?
Yes.
There's still heaps left.
John's got his might run the post office as well, so sort of.
The premises you're in. Yes. Yeah. And Natalie, what for you?
Also the newsletter. We do a community
Yep.
newsletter every 2 months or 3 months.
Yep.
We print that
Yep.
for the community, so that goes all through
Yep.
the whole one.
Yep. Guys, what I've just given you is a health check, and I've got a template around this. If you want it, I'm happy to give it to you. If you don't want it, I won't waste your time, the email space or the paper. Every 12 months or every 6 months, you need to do a health check on what affects your brand. And everything we've spoken about today has. A couple of things that we've missed are how you do your open homes and how you conduct your meetings. The best agents I've seen have the art of running a meeting. And if there's a great template that you follow and you sharpen yourself up on it, you'll get better results. Because what happens when you go and sit down with a client and present them an offer? What are the words you want to hear as an agent?
What do you think?
What do you think? And the only way you get to that is through trust and running an effective meeting. So there's about a 3-page document I can give you on doing that health check on your branding. Anyone here have a brand or marketing budget for themselves as an agent?
We do.
Yep. Is it documented?
David asked for it a little while ago, and I feel they sent it back in. So a month by month, what was spending.
How do you guys work it? For the 3 people that nominated themselves, what does that look like? What's the spend?
It's a spreadsheet.
It's a spreadsheet,
Yeah,
January
so
through.
Yep, down the side, it's done by month. And how much we're allocating, but how much we've actually spent, and the items to go down the side. But what we want to do, that goes to Katie so she knows exactly what we're trying to roll out every month. So, and Katie's only just joined me a few months ago, so we've spoken about it again this morning actually. So,
Sorry, that's what I did.
Awesome.
Mine's ad hoc actually.
Yep.
So if I'm fighting for a listing and I'm up against someone who's free marketing, I'll
You'll nominate and pay it and back yourself and
yeah.
Yeah?
And I see that as promoting yourself.
That is a marketing strategy, by the way. When we rolled out in Barrel at Di Jones, no one did vendor paid advertising, right? So we funded it for 12 months until we got to number one position, then we charged for it. So that is 500% a strategy. What does yours look
So
like?
mine's the same as David. I've got it all listed line up. To be honest, haven't used it much since we implemented it.
Yep. Can I ask a question? Do you guys know that the pecking order of salespeople or leader? Like, have you been over leaderboards recently? Do we know where we're sitting for end of financial year or who our top 3 or 5 riders might be in the group?
We will do soon, as of next month.
Everyone's a pretty good idea, I would assume, who the top 3 people are in the group. Generally, I'm not always saying it is, you've just seen the 3 gentlemen that have come forward. Generally, the people that have strategy or budget behind marketing or focus on it tend to be the top riders. Not always, but tends to be. Because it's not a fluke and it's not coincidence that people that have good accountability and good marketing strategy and a plan seem to do well. That is not coincidence. So I would be encouraging any of you in here that are the future salespeople, or you want to make a career out of this, and I'm assuming that's why we're at Elders Lifestyle Group, is we want to make a career out of real estate. And there has never been a better time in Australasia to make a shitload of money in real estate as right now. Do you reckon you guys are going to have a strong spring? Yeah. Abso-bloody-lutely. Who's got good stock at the moment? 4 people. Who's got more than half a dozen listings?
Hey, Johnny. You're over twice then, sorry. I'll pull that in now.
So generally in a regional area, you got more than 6 stock, you're going okay. Got less than 6, we've got a problem. So going into spring, would it not be good to have some good marketing strategies and some helpful hints and plans to make sure when they open up the borders in Sydney that you guys have got the stock? Or be looking at marketing strategies now for investment to position yourself over the competition. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you a little template. I'm going to run through, I suppose, real estate talk. I'm not asked Alicia to do, and this is why I hired Alicia, is she's not from real estate, which I love. So all the stuff that I knew about marketing, I'm doing within my team, but bringing in resources or working with people that bring fresh ideas is a what idea? A good idea, right? It's a really good idea. So when we spoke earlier about who we think as a brand does beautiful marketing, and McGrath came up. Why did you guys say McGrath? Consistency? Because, you know, you see a signboard in Bondi, it's probably the same as in Port Macquarie.
Going over the years, I think McGrath dead in the early days. Everyone's caught them, but they got momentum because they did.
Yeah. So one thing I'm going to really challenge you guys, I remember I said when I was sitting over there, I'm going to challenge you. Good decisions aren't always popular. And I'm going to be doing some work with your marketing team, and Alicia's got a session with them this afternoon. What I need you guys to remember is if we're aiming for consistency, is that going to ruffle a few feathers with things in the organisation? Yeah, it is. So let's find out the best things and the good things now, because what works for one person may not work for everybody, but guess what? You can't scale and you can't have consistency unless you've got a bit of alignment with your marketing. Who would you consider to do the best marketing as an agent? Gavin?
Not Wiley. Wally.
I'm not quite sure that this show he's just done is going to be good for his brand, but anyway, that'll be. Has everyone seen it? Yeah. And Gavin will be saying, fuck him, right? Like, it's just, I want them talking about it. That would be Gavin's mentality. But potentially there might be an impact around that. Who else? Who else?
Davies.
Sorry?
Drew Davies.
Drew, beautiful marketing. Who else? Yes. You guys writing this down, because not all of you would have seen or cited this marketing, and start following these people on social. Jealous Craig does beautiful marketing. If anyone knows their CEO, Nick's very, like, it's my way or the highway. And it's one thing for you guys to recognise these brands, and then another when the conversation is had with you around you can't put, as an example, writing on a photo.
White Fox.
Yeah, White Fox.
Lisa Novak on socials, smashes social. What's your opinion on her?
I think she's got good traction. I think you've got to be right for your marketplace. That is very right for her marketplace. Yep. Hutton is a good one in Brisbane. And Place, Hutton and Hutton. Place have beautiful marketing. Agencies with their own like personal brand. There's some good ones that we might, have you got?
Read and code.
Yep. We're going back to brands again, and I was guilty of it as well. Who were the individual, did you have some individual agents that you wanted to share?
No.
No.
I
Okay.
have Lords of Property to talk about.
Yes, we'll look at that in a minute. From an individual branding point of view, is with prospecting, sometimes you tend to pick one or two things that you're really good at rather than, like, there's some of you that, who likes door knocking? One person. See, I never door knocked when I was in sales either. It's the same with marketing. You might pick one or two things that you're really good at, stick with it. And if some of you are really good at getting results and selling, that marketing strategy around elevating your profile on the next listing in the property is a great strategy. There is no right or wrong. Alicia's going to talk today a lot about social media. Who gets social media? Who's getting ROI, return on investment from social? Who doesn't know if they're getting return on investment with social? Thank you for your honesty. So Alicia's going to run through some of those insights today because that's just as important when you're doing your marketing to recognise. How much did you spend on marketing as a sales agent? Heaps? Did someone say heaps? Depends where you are in your career life cycle. Has anyone ever seen, actually go to Google for me and go to images and type up business life cycle. Has anyone got it in front of them, a little bell curve? Yeah. Okay, so you got your bell curve in front of you. When you first start your career in sales, you are running your own business. Like 80% of Australia would give their left leg to get paid what high performers get paid in sales. You are running your own business if you're a high performing sales agent. The average residential real estate office in Australasia makes $1.3 million a year. And there are salespeople in this country doing 3, 4, 5, 6 times that. You first start on that bell curve, see how it just sort of comes out and talks about the entry level, the early stages and growth. I actually think you need to spend more money there than you do when you're mature. Then the bell curve will go up when you're going on growth. You get to the top of the bell curve, and that's where you get to maturity. Usually in sales, it's around years 12 to 15. People get there and they go, I've had a gut full of people. I want to burn my phone. This is beep. I'm over it. I can't do it anymore. What happens at the top of that bell curve is you either reinvest in yourself and you go again, or you die. Who's ever seen good salespeople get to the top of their career and then they get complacent? They don't upskill themselves, they don't invest back in their business, and then what happens? They're going to decline. They may not keep up with technology, they might get lazy, they might just get boring from a marketing and they die. They go into decline. So it's important when you've got your coaches with you, you identify where you are in your business life cycle and how much you need to invest. Is anyone in an area where there's a lot of new entrants? Like I would imagine Port Macquarie is getting a little bit more populated with agents and people moving here. And if you don't think this is going to happen with Sydney Open Up, you're delusional. You're going to start to get Sydney agents coming here for the lifestyle, and they're going to think it's easier to list and sell here. We spoke about this a little bit last time. What would you do if Marnie came to town, Ben Collier came to town, Alexander Phillips came to town? Remember that? Would you up your ante on your marketing spend if those guys arrived in town tomorrow? Probably. What's the old rule of thumb about the percentage of commission you brought into your office last year you should spend on marketing? 10%. So people that are well advanced in their career usually will reinvest 2% of their GCI back in. New talent coming through will usually be about 10%. So if you write down the number that you've brought in the last 12 months, so say it's $500,000, and you're 4 or 5 years in, are you willing to reinvest 50 grand of that back into your marketing? It might be shit no. I want to buy a house, I want to buy whatever. But don't go below 2%. If you're a mature agent, if you're it's what you keep too, by the way. So if you bought in $1 million, you're on a 50% split, it's half of it. It's not the whole amount. Does that make sense? So then I want you right underneath, this is what I would like to spend in marketing. Now you guys might not have any idea, right? You might just go, I'm going to invest 10 grand. And then most people go, oh my God, that's a big figure, that makes me feel really sick. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to divide that by the number of transactions. So if you had 30 deals and you did 300, let's keep the numbers even. Then that tells you how much money I would be getting payroll to take off your commission and just put into another account. Because in my experience, when salespeople get it or see it, it's gone. I used to have a girl in my office, she'd get a payroll, best payroll check, and then she'd go shopping. Come back on Monday, be broke, and I'd be like, yes, she's going to perform again. That would be my advice. If you're not good with money, funnel it off, keep it in an account, and that's where it ticks away. A few of you identified you're not good with social. If you're not good with social, what might you do? Outsource it. Who outsources their social media? Yep. Do you guys have a brief or a plan for the next 12 months with that social media person? Yeah, thank you for honesty, because this is what happens. Agents go, too hard, headache, but I need to do it, I'll tick a box. And then they say the social media person, just put stuff up. And then next minute, this is what we're seeing in Sydney at the moment, is all the agents have got similar social media posts going out, and it just looks like it's cut and pasted and has no impact. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at what your brand stands for, what you're trying to achieve, kind of tailor a little bit like what you started talking about, David, but a bit of a plan. So if you're actually sitting with your marketing team, a contractor, whatever it is before you even start throwing money out the door, let's work on what you're trying to achieve with it. Does that sound like a good idea? Has anyone ever had any really good success as a sales agent with a marketing campaign in their time? Yep.
Yeah, we had a property, the sales team, we did a group inspection, the sales team said it was about a mil, and I begged to differ, so the owner didn't want to invest in marketing, didn't want to sign a 90-day agency agreement, so we got database buyers through 2 buyers, just on VIP viewings, and the feedback was 1.2 to 1.3. So then we talked to the vendor about, you've got to invest in marketing, we've already got competition. You know, imagine what happens if you took it to a large pool of buyers. They spent 15 grand on a TV campaign, and about 5 grand I'm talking about 2012, about another couple of grand on paper advertising, etc., internet. And we cut a long story short, we had 100 people at the auction, we had 15 registered bidders, and it sold for 1.45.
Great story. Steal that story and duplicate it. The great thing about being in a big network is you get to use other people's stories. We have one down here, marketing, successful marketing.
Probably had a few, but one that stands out for me was one in Walsh. Got them to spend just over 3 grand on a marketing campaign. It was going to auction. We decided not to take any offers prior. At 16 registered, I think his reserve was 800. We got 1.15 for it.
Yep. Any agent branding that is a good success story, you got good ROI. Because I see lots of money spent on agent branding marketing, but I don't see many good results.
When we started at LG Hookup, we were doing videos, and they weren't just your normal house videos, like they were a bit funny videos kind of thing, and that seemed to get us a lot of traction. I think I was always getting calling people saying, "Oh, can you do one of those videos for us?"
Yep. Do you guys have a print? Do you still have print here? No? Radio? You got a couple of radio stations locally? Does anyone do radio? You did?
A couple of other agencies.
Yeah.
Warhope Real Estate.
Decker and Warhope Real Estate. Spotify shop that.
Lawsy does. Yeah, got that.
Landscape.
And First National do it on a Saturday. First do it on Thursday morning.
Yep.
Personal was used to do it on
They don't do
Saturday.
anymore?
They don't.
Anything I'm throwing out today is subject to Dave's approval, right? I'm going to say that he's trusted me to present this without him being here, so that will be my caveat. You need to run it back past him first to make sure it's okay. The best thing that I ever did when I was in sales, and I'm just throwing this out here, I was really young when I got it. I was 21 when I started in sales. Everyone's like, oh, she's too young, she's not experienced. I invested, it was way back, but I invested 10 grand a year in radio. And it was the best thing I ever did because it got my voice out there. It gave me an opportunity to elevate the stock. become a brand before I was a brand. And people used to say, oh, we've met, but I'd never met them. So that worked really, really well. If you've got a regional station that goes across all your areas, a few of you could pitch in and do it. And go on a roster. I'll do the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, whatever it is. But you own that airway. It's also a great listing tool if you can showcase property on there. Is there really nothing, like not even a magazine that does print through your region?
There is.
That's about it.
Which they're in, I think you're all.
Yeah, that's one of the all good pages in it.
And tell me about that. How does that work?
Lucy and Daisy, they're in it.
Yeah, well, you just pay for a page and they won't promote actual property stuff.
Right, they'll only do agent profiling.
The radio would be really good for the group because basically your Kemps are going to get it, Origin you're going to get it.
And it's a big difference for the group too. Like I think if you were to go to Dave, again, disclaimer, it's being filmed, it's got to be agreed with him. But if a business goes, oh shit, I've got to spend 50 grand on a radio campaign, you guys go, well actually no Dave, we're prepared to trip in. Let's do it. You can do it to grow property management, which is your asset, and we'll all chip in and we'll do it. And we all want, this is what it would look like. That's a really good way to do it.
We sponsor the local buying club, and they've put like pretty much signage of us or me on all the drink stands outside, and then they've got a slideshow they play every month, so we advertise the property of the month.
Yeah.
We've got about 3 listings from that, and buyers that are on holiday come back to us. And then we do presentations and that sort of stuff.
I just want to challenge you guys with like your community marketing, and I know you guys sponsor a lot, right? But again, I can only talk about our growth pattern at Di Jones, and what we did with our community marketing is we decided as a group what we were going to do, but then we would like maybe do all one thing. So it might have been junior soccer and the beaches. Upstate real estate does this really well on the northern beaches. All the beaches have got their flags. For example, Nippers, Cunningham's, all the same. You can get much greater reach and traction. So are there beaches all up the coastline? Yep. Do parents go to different competitions with things with kids? So if you sponsor junior rugby in one area, I would suggest you do it across the group. If you sponsor Nippers in one area, I would suggest you do it along. So a bit of strategy around that community stuff to get better ROI is important as well. And guess what? You don't have to wait for Dave and Hayley or marketing. There's nothing to stop a few agents getting together with an idea and coming back to Dave and saying, if the organisation isn't going to do this, we want to sponsor Nippers, as an example. Does anyone have any good traction with their community marketing?
You do, please, with the surf club.
Yeah. Sometimes I do question, because I know so many people in that surf club, whether the business will generate anyway, even without the advertising. So that's always in the back of my mind.
But it's also good to have top of mind. It's just
Yeah.
another top of mind.
But
When you're not there, you are there.
But also too, I mean, from a Shelley Beach perspective, we've got patches, and I look after Shell, we look after Shell with the Flings. I mean, they're associated with the Flings Beach Surf Club. So my thinking is the pickup is from those people that are not associated with the surf club to see the sign of the surf club.
Schools?
Actually, a lot of, sorry.
No, you're right, Dylan.
Like, we get a lot of, Dave gets a lot of emails, you know, sponsor this, sponsor that, and
It's
initially
constant.
he was just paying for things, and then I get an invoice 8 months later, and it's to pay, and then I'm just like, what are we actually doing? You know, like, do we even have our logo on a marquee for this? So a lot of the thing Dave just says yes, 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 but we've actually got to look at, you know,
Do you
if
guys
we're really
know
not
everything
getting involved.
that Dave sponsors?
No.
What a great thing to do in the sales meeting is actually say, okay, this is company branding, what's ROI, what's not? And then you guys go, this is what we do, and then it might be the wish list. And you might be able to get better scale and better traction, to Eliza's point, if you all do it together. So I'll give you an example at my last organisation. Everyone wanted to do Christmas carols in every location. It was $5,000 an office, so 11 offices, 55 grand, it was a lot of money. Said, okay, well, we'll do the carols and we'll sponsor the carols. You guys need to all get together and you guys pay for the merchandise to give out to the kids, so they're walking around with the balloons, you know, those night things that go around, and the Di Jones candle lights. Deal? Done. But much better traction than us just sponsoring the event where there was no branding. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if you think about Dave is sponsoring you guys to have a job, then what are you doing about the branding? So think about at the moment, open homes. What do you do to promote your brand at your opens? I walk into your open home, is it any different to McGrath, Lang & Simmons, LJ Hooker's open in town? Is it? What are some things that you might be able to do differently at your open homes to elevate your brand as a company or an individual?
We have the Kingston Haven stock books there, which a lot of people pick up, shows other agents' stock. But apart from that, really, the sign out the front that says open or welcome.
Yep. Would it piss your competition off if someone walked into their open with one of your masks?
Yes.
I'm being serious here, I'm not being...
Or your hat, Kylie?
So yesterday on social, I don't know where Holly is, wherever in Australia, all my hats are starting to pop up all over the country, which I just love. But it's a great branding exercise. On planes, like seriously, I reckon you guys need branded masks, particularly if you've got people coming up from Sydney or it opens. I've seen some offices do slippers or covers, you know, like those doctor's surgery things, branded things around that, because no one likes taking their shoes off at an open home.
I've seen water bottles, we've done branded water bottles.
Yep.
We're not doing.
Now Dave's not going to pay for all this stuff, right? But if you guys all, these are so cheap, I can't even tell you. So if you ordered, say, 10,000 of these, it would be so small, but I think the impact for the brand across the region and people coming in would be enormous. What else might you give out at open homes? Do you have many families move into your area? What's the most important thing to a mum and dad? Their kids. Does anyone ever get any nightmare children at an open? Or people running around at open, you just want to keep the kids bloody, go outside, you little shits. So what would be of value to mum and dad on Saturday when they're going around 6 or 7 open homes to keep the kids entertained?
Shut.
Has anyone heard of John McManus?
Yeah.
So John writes what, $4.5 million every year. My kids love John because he gives them lolly packs when they go and colouring in books. And if we look at open homes in Willoughby, John, where's your colouring in books? I didn't bring them today. What do you mean you didn't bring your colouring in books? Because I just give it to them, the kids go and lay on the lawn and they colour in. And then they go home and they do it as well.
Bell Properties is Sue Jock, they're still doing that. She used to sit at little tables and little kiddies' chairs and cover it.
Would it have an impact on your brand presence locally if you did those 3 things potentially at your open homes every year? How many people do you meet at your open homes on a Saturday across the group? Couple hundred? Yeah. So multiply that out. Then I go through your opens, my shitty disposable mask breaks at 10 o'clock. You give me a nice one that I think's got good protection. I'll wear it all around town all day long. That's why I used to give kids balloons at my auctions, because I loved going to Woolies after work and seeing my branded balloons all through Woolies. Start thinking a little bit around what's got good shelf life and what's going to get you more listings and stock. It's not always another ad in the paper, another DL drop, and there is strength in numbers. So nothing I've spoken about today yet is social. So Alicia's going to touch on social because that's her baby, not mine. And she'll tell you some good stories. Have you guys all got one of these? We'll kick Alicia's off with this. What I want you to do is just spend 5 minutes now. What does your brand stand for? You as an individual. Go.
It's my face.
Sorry?
Do you have the supply you got those?
Yeah. Yep.
Get them off the
Yeah.
So we can maybe talk to Dave about them.
I'm tight. Years of running girls like daughters and business. For Promote is the most cost-effective quality merchandising company I've found. I'm really passionate about this element. Like, I'm happy to do one-on-ones with you if you want. Like, settlement gifts. I just think the way we do settlement gifts is appalling in this industry, right? So we all give the bottle of wine, then someone doesn't drink wine, but we don't ask the question. We give them a cheap-ass something because it suits us and it's mass-produced. I'm being generalistic, like, right? Some of you might do other things. But again, thinking about good quality branding that might hang around in a house. One of the best things I think you can give some homeowners, if they like cooking, is the beautiful cookbook with your branded aprons. You know those beautiful aprons you see, they might be, you know, a certain colour, like, you know, the denims or the beiges or things, and they've got the leather straps. They're beautiful. And your brand doesn't have to be right here, right? It might be subtle on your pocket, whatever it is. But longer shelf life is important. And that would go well with the beautiful cookbook. Do you want to finish that on?
Yeah, sure. Really up to 2 minutes.
2 minutes, guys. Pump them out. If you're stuck, turn to the person next to you. Really interesting when you start to talk about a brand like Elders and you say how we're perceived in the market, what you think and what your customer might think. I had an Elders office and everyone used to say to me, you can't sell Elders in residential. Best thing you guys have got going for you about Elders brand in residential is it is a trusted brand, and it is very hard in real estate to get a brand that connotates trust. But because you're a brand of the bush, it connotates trust. Very important when you're on a shopping list.
Are you going through this whole thing? Are you doing this whole thing? Or just the first page?
I think we can talk about that, but we're going to run out of time.
Yeah.
Anyone want to share? Loud and proud. No?
Now,
Yeah.
I said energetic, trustworthy, and capable for me. And then for the office, I said trusted advisors, large team, different, and rural background.
Yep. Anyone else have anything different?
That's something similar but with technology, like
Innovative.
with marketing.
Innovative. I would definitely say that. I think we could do a bit more around that to project it with marketing strategy.
And reach.
Good reach, regional, your numbers, your traction, your transactions. We can definitely do a lot more in this space.
I'd also say security, that we're there, because we're obviously still in a very big growth.
Long standing. How old's the Elders brand this year, guys?
100 years.
Higher.
180.
Higher.
200.
183. Do you know how many brands in the current climate would love to have celebrated 183 years in marketing? And I didn't see anything come from the marketing group around that. People love to support Australasian brands. And the fact that it's been around for 183 years, supporting and employing people in Australia, that's a really cool marketing. Really cool marketing. Now what I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 things that a consumer wants or why they might ring you when engaging an agent. By the way, they don't want trust when they reach out to you. That's when they meet you. That's during. So they don't want someone they can trust. They don't realise that until they actually meet you. So that is not a brand element that a consumer wants. They don't know they need it until they start to interview. So don't put trust. What does a consumer want when shopping for an agent?
Great price.
Results.
They want someone that's got results. So should we be seeing the fact that we did 679 deals and sold over 100 and whatever million in real estate last year? Mate, that should be on everything you guys send out. Everything. 11 offices. We are from boom to boom. We've got more buyers than anyone else on the Mid-North Coast. We've got more reach. We've got a better database. What else? Market knowledge. How would you get that across?
Just listed, just sold.
Stories about
Yep, case stories. So how cool would it be to run case stories constantly, always on campaigns across your different medium channels? Database, marketing, social. And what's the third thing?
Guidance.
Sorry?
Guidance.
Yeah, which comes into kind of market knowledge. They want someone that can help them. The amount of times I hear an agent on the phone, and this comes back to your personal brand with how you communicate, where someone says, I'm moving to Noosa. Do you guys actually pick up the phone and ring Elders at Noosa and say, hey, I've got someone moving up, can you help them? is often we just stop and start, we don't carry it all the way through. So again, that comes back to storytelling. We've got how many offices across Australia, guys? Sales coaches, some work that needs to be done around that, right, and how we sell that in.
I read it on Monday in the window at Foster's. Foster's actually got all that in their window.
If you go and pitch for someone's business and they're looking to move somewhere else, would you be up a little bit further? Dave talks about the 1%ers. Would it give you another 1% if you put them in contact with an agent in another area, whether it be elders or not, by the way? Delete that out of the video. But whether it be elders or not, and you can find them something off market that they fall in love with, will that increase their motivation to get them on the market?
Yes.
Will you be potentially the only agent that got off your ass and picked up the phone and made that effort?
Yes.
Correct. Guys, this was a teaser. If you're interested in continuing this, either one-on-one and doing another session, I didn't do it all today because it won't float for everybody, right? You're just like, I just want to sell, keep it simple. This is something you want to do with me next time I'm up at the 26th of August. Let me know and we'll book it in. Alicia, thank you.
Hi guys.
Alicia.
I'll just apologise for removing my mask. I have asthma, so if I'm talking I start to hyperventilate, so I would be wearing it if I could, but I can't. So yeah, this template is exactly, as a marketer, what I use to plan out and strategize content. So for those of you who outsource your marketing or have someone who helps you, use this template, fill it out as much as you can, have a strategy session with Kylie, and then take this template to every single marketing meeting that you have, because there's a bit of a communication difference between sales and marketing, and Kylie actually makes fun of me all the time because I say all this marketing jargon and she's like, speak English, I don't know what you're saying. So I'm sorry if I use a marketing word, please pull me up on it. I'll try and be really brief on it. But just to wrap up on that branding exercise, I'm a first home owner, buyer, I haven't bought yet, and I'm currently researching agents. And what I'm looking for is someone who will give me education, because I have no idea about the process. So if you've got case studies of a first home buyer that you've helped, that's the kind of content I'd be looking at. And I research everything on social. That's probably classic for my demographic and the generations coming along behind me. So that's the kind of stuff that I would want to see on your socials to help me understand who you are and how you help someone else. So I just wanted to finish on that. But take
Alicia,
a
can
second.
I just say on that, if you have got 5 years left in this industry, probably not that important for you. Like, keep doing what you're doing. If you're in the start of your career and you've got 10, 15 years in this game, if you don't nail this social media stuff, you're not going to be on the shopping cart.
And I get some people don't want to spend money on social media, you're all busy, you're making enough money or whatever, but me, I search everything on social media. All my purchases, all my real estate stuff, I'm looking on social. So if you don't start now, in 12 months' time, you might regret it. Up to you guys anyway. But who here follows Lords of Property? Wow, 2 people? Was it 3?
Oh my God, you want a belly laugh?
Has anyone been featured on Lords of Property?
Oh, geez,
Wow, okay, well done so far. Everyone get your phones out, start following. Oh my gosh, really?
Wait, really?
What's Lords of Property?
Okay, so Lords of Property has about, I think, 100,000 followers. Hey?
The terrifying thing about Lords of Follow is it's consumers that follow it,
Yeah,
not
sorry,
agents.
30,000.
We
Yeah.
get so caught up in branding and marketing about what we think looks good as an agent. And a lot of the agents that people said this morning, the industry thinks good, the consumers think they're a goddamn wanker.
So all my friends, I've got, say, 10 couples who've all just bought their first home, and they all have like this idea of what a real estate agent is, and it's probably because of this account. So I think it makes me smile. There's some hilarious stuff in there, but talking about your friend Gavin before, I eat risk for breakfast. He's prominently featured on this account. And while I think the thing about this account that shows is that people think social media is all about you, it's actually all about your community and what they want to hear, what they want to see. Yes, you should definitely be showing up as yourself and showing your face, but if this is your brand, that's fine. But if you want a sustainable brand that you're proud of, maybe That's why we need to do all this work,
And
essentially,
like,
so that you
brilliant,
don't.
right? We're not
yeah.
taking away for that for a minute. Like, he sells a shitload of property. You know, I think he did, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like $6 or $7 million last year in GCI. His team, by the way, not him individually, his team. But I think the key to what Alicia's saying, I don't need it getting back to Gavin that we were shit-canning him, because it's not about that, right? What I need is, I need you to hear the word sustainability. What consumers have put up with in the last 20 years in real estate is not what they're going to put up with moving forward.
So that's one. There's some classics on here. Which one's it, Kingy? This one?
How many heads you go, mate? You shake the piggy bank? Good boy. Good boy. I mean, you're still $5 short, are you? Well, look, mate, you come up 45. Let's call it a deal. Righto, settle down. You nearly, yep, I've got ears, Johnny, I can hear you. I can hear Trish in the background too, mate. I'm happy for you. Righto, mate, I'll have that drink with you. You're shouting up. Top shelf. Walker, Johnny. No, mate, not the red. Reach for the stars, mate. Grab the blue stuff. Smooth as butter. I'll shout the second bottle. I said I'll shout the second bottle. You got me word. Mate, the last person who took me on a drinking comp, they're still shelving Barocca. 6 weeks ago, champ. Yep. Work hard, play hard. Okay, mate, well, we'll get together soon. I'll have to describe you for maybe a couple of weeks. I've got a few things on. How many heads you go, mate? You shake?
There's some amazing ones on there.
This is why we are on the bottom of that shopping list. You know those surveys they continue to do? I mean, it's funny, right? I get it's funny. It's funny or you'd cry. What this does to your brand, I cannot even tell you. And it's those words again, sustainability moving forward. Richard Branson comes to town tomorrow, or REA, turn on the switch that takes you out of the occasion, you are rat shit. Do not be that agent that puts yourself on there.
And the comments are probably the best bit. It's just people taking the piss out of real estate agents. So
I'd never heard of it either, but consumers follow it. So here we are as agents, we're like, yeah. And Alicia's like, everyone follows this. I'm like, I'd never heard of it.
I guess that's probably your best guide for what not to do. So if you need help to like, oh, should I post this? Maybe just check that first. And oh, that's fine if it's died.
That's all things that you can
if you just plug your power cord in, and there's a power point there, I think the battery might have died. Okay, who is active on their business socials? Hands up, sorry, I know you did it before. Okay, so everybody. Who is happy with their business socials? One person, 2, 3, 4. Could be better. Yeah, don't know. That's fine. Who knows what their most successful post was? One person? That's. Why are you laughing? I want to know.
We used to do a Thank God It's Friday post every Friday. We do something just stupid and take a photo of it. And
Yeah.
they were our most liked photos every single week.
And that's great. So why do you think that was?
Because it was funny and it was
More relatable, like,
yeah.
human, it's more personable, yeah.
Love that. Love that. Who knows what their least successful post was?
Just listed, like, just the same old stuff.
Yep.
This is just sales, that's just that.
And why is that?
Everyone's doing it.
Okay. Who here knows how to look at their analytics on their... Who doesn't know how to look at their analytics?
I don't even know how to do Instagram.
Okay. That's all right. We're going to get everyone's phone out and I'm going to make sure... Kylie's like, they won't know how to do that. And I was like, of course everyone knows how to do that. So everyone get your phones out and we're going to go through it now. Let's start with who's Instagram?
So because the Instagram one you can look at pretty easy. I've never done the Facebook one.
Okay, I'll show you the Facebook one.
Yeah, Instagram.
Okay, Instagram. So on your home page, everyone should have their business profile open. Everyone's logged in. Insights. There's a middle button that says Insights on your home page if you're logged into your account.
If you have it on your phone, I'll show you.
Yep. Is this the first time you've logged into it? No, you've looked at it before?
So, where you go?
Yep.
That's my personal one. Oh, there we go.
Yep, so Insights. That middle button, just there.
Oh, it says insights?
Yeah. You're in there?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you know what all this stuff means? Have you looked at it before?
Sometimes yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the best one to check is to go into here, to your post section, and then you can filter by last year, last 7 days, and check how you've performed in the last month.
Okay.
I don't know why my finger's not working. Do you have one? That's okay.
I don't even have the app.
That's okay. Do you have, but you have an account with,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
So it's a great thing to do to start a financial career, guys, and to track your engagement,
So
how many you've
I've
reached,
got
and
a
give yourself
homework
a
for you
benchmark. 'Cause
is
it's
to
a
get
really
the app on
expensive
your
and
phone,
time-consuming
and next
thing
time
to
I come
do
down, I'll
if
set
you
you
don't
up.
get any better.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you have to get the app on your phone and get your logins.
Yeah, you know it as Insta, mate. You haven't
Do
known
you-
Instagram and Insta.
You don't?
No, I'm down.
Okay, no
I've only
probs.
got a personal.
Personal, no worries. Alison, do you know how to do it? No. Ooh. Here's a good point as well. Alison's account is set up as a personal account, so you need to switch yours to a business account.
Will that mean I lose everything that's on there?
No, I'm just going to do it right now. Settings, account.
You should 500% sure before you do it.
Yep.
While Alicia's doing that for Alison, by the way, too, something to have a think about. Do any of you repeat a conversation often with clients?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, you know, when you're filing buyers, like, what have I got to do for Saturday?
It's
What have
not
I got to
gonna
have
be
around a
later. That's fine.
deposit? What have I got to be ready
Do
for
you
for
have
auction?
You're good.
I want you to start just keeping a piece
You're
of
good.
paper for
Found
me
it?
on your
But I don't
on your
have it as a
work
business
desk or wherever it is.
Yep, so
and
we
if
need
you're
to swap
repeating
that
a
over
conversation
to a
often, I
business
want you to
account.
write down what the
Okay.
topics
Yep.
are.
Doesn't change anything.
And I want you to get it in
Just
front of
gives you
camera and
more.
I want you to record it. That is great social media content. Remember we spoke about this at the retreat? What have I got to
Yeah.
do if I'm thinking about
No.
putting my house on the market? How do I select a good agent? How do I bid in a
you
self-managed
find
super
yours?
funded auction?
Yep.
How do I,
Yep.
whatever.
Whoops, okay.
There's about
Around
12 or
that. Yep,
15 pillars in
insights.
sales, and record it and use that on your
So
social.
the best part to check is to go
Interview
into
your
your
painter.
post section. I don't know
What's
why
the
my
best
finger
paint to
doesn't
use
work.
when I'm painting a fence?
Switch to professional account, isn't it?
Your plumber. How do I light a pilot light when it goes out? What time of year should I prune the roses? Think about your clients or your tradespeople that you work with.
Here.
And some of them won't be good on camera, right? So you might Q&A them. Short and sharp, no longer than a minute.
Yeah, and then you can filter.
That is what customers and consumers
last 30
want.
days, you can check your performance. You can filter
Do
by
what?
reach. You can filter by who actually clicked on your website, who clicked to contact you, all that kind of stuff. So have a play
Is that you put on
around.
promotions and stuff through your...
Hello.
So I've got a business and a personal one.
Yep, so is this your business one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're set as a personal account as well, so we need to switch that to a business account.
Cool.
We'll do that. There's a few of you who have that problem, so we'll have to do it all together.
You guys haven't done
And
any
you've
polls.
just started,
You guys
haven't
haven't
you?
done any
So you haven't got an
polls
account
through
yet? All right, well maybe we should set yours up together and just, or someone in your team, and we'll just make sure.
Of course, that would be
I'll just give you my number and we can make sure it's set up. Right.
So you'll spend all night on there. It just makes me laugh.
Yes, exactly. So the best section to go into is the posts.
Yeah, and see how many likes
Yeah.
you've
I
had.
don't know why my finger's not working, but you can filter
Oh,
it
you're
by
already
like
done.
last
I
3
thought
months, so you
shortlisted.
can change the dates.
Yeah.
You can
You guys
change,
ought to see the Johnny
check
Cash
reach,
one on there.
look at
Oh
all
my
of these
God.
different things.
There's this agent, his
You should be
surname's
looking
Black,
at this
and he
every
sold
week.
something in Jackson.
Yep, and doing a
Jackson
mini
Road.
report together. What worked, what didn't, what do we
Have a
want
look
to
at it.
change next week.
Trade wreck.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because if you say to
Did I show you guys how to filter by reach, impressions, who's clicked on your website? You know how to do all that stuff? Yep, cool. How often are you guys, the ones who are looking at your insights, how often do you check? Never.
Generally after like a boosted post
Yep.
during a if I'm
start
doing
checking
like
it every
good
week.
money behind something,
Yeah.
I'll check it and see how it's sort of performing, and then when it's done,
Yeah.
how to react.
So I check it daily, but weekly is when you should be checking it, and just doing a really quick mini audit, what worked, what didn't work, why. Who knows that there's a particular time that you should post on social?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty well at the moment. It's 6 p.m. every night. Everyone seems to be, that's peak traffic time, 6 to 9 p.m. Who's just posting whenever something happens? Yep. So if you've got something that happens and you want it like, oh, I should post this, don't post it straight away. Try and wait till 6 p.m. and schedule your stuff in. Or make sure your marketing person knows that you want stuff to be posted at the right time.
So time-wise, you're saying 6 o'clock's probably peak hour?
At the moment it is. It seems to be across the board on everyone's analytics. I have a few businesses that I have access to their accounts. Everyone seems to be 6 to 9 p.m. But you should be looking at your insights, looking at your audience behaviour. You have all of that data in your phones. You just have to know where to find it and check it yourselves. But because of the algorithm, it's all based on engagement. So when you post something organically, it used to be that 10% of your audience, say if you've got 100 people following you, so if you post something, 10 people will see it. And it's the people who engage with your account the most, so probably your mum and your colleagues. And that's just how it works because they want to make money, obviously. So that's why it's important to also have a boosted strategy with your organic strategy. And if you're not doing that yourself, just chat to your marketing person about it, but they should be boosting your best performing post of the week once a week.
And do you have like a budget on what you normally spend on a boosted post?
Yeah, I would experiment. So I'd probably start with minimum $50 and then go up from there. A really good post that's worked amazingly, I'd probably put $100 behind. Depends on the scale and what Kylie said, going back to if you're investing 10% of your, is it GCI? Is that the right word? Or if you're investing 2%, I'd kind of break up your budget that way, but have a monthly budget. Because as a marketer, I know what Kylie's budget is once a month.
I don't mind you sharing what we spend.
We spend $500 a month.
On social boosting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I split that up and play with it every month. I change my strategy depending on what we're doing and what content we're making. There's a really great campaign on Facebook called Page Likes Campaign. And you set up a custom audience, so you'd target everyone in your locality and you'd do a Page Likes campaign that helps you to boost your numbers a little bit. But it isn't about how many people follow you, it's about your engagement of your content. So think about all the accounts you guys follow personally. I know some of you might not be on social media at all, but think about the brands or the accounts that you guys love and follow and write down 5 for me now. I'm talking brands like Apple, Nike, it could be Josh Fegan, whoever.
So funny. While we're standing here, John McManus has just started a live video. Does anyone do any live videos? Yep. During COVID, I reckon, with everyone sitting at home, if you've got people coming up from Sydney.
We've found that we do a Saturday afternoon after the opens. We've had about 3 listings come from that.
Yeah, the wrap on Saturday afternoon. Yep.
3 listings. Wall Street came from that. She said, I'll see you on Saturday afternoon. You talk about the markets raw. She said, that's why you're in here.
Yep.
So we got that.
Does anyone do their so that's a great one, your market wrap. Does anyone do live when you're doing an auction? Do you do live Facebook or Insta from the auction? One of the best things you can do at Dow Jones, every time we'd start at 2,000, 3,000, you see it go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over 8,000 people every time would go on our live auctions because everyone loves auctions. The only thing I will say about it is if it's a public forum, you need to announce it. You need to have a disclaimer that it's being filmed.
And you don't need super fancy equipment. You just need a tripod and a phone, a good new phone. That's it.
And grabbing people after the auction, if it's appropriate, or the auctioneer to do commentary and send straight out. It's real-time data.
Who's got 5, or give me your favourite account to follow? Anyone?
I like Country Road.
You like Country Road? Why do you like Country Road? Why do you like following them?
Well, I like fashion, but also it's just got like a nice like contemporary feel.
Yeah.
And everything's the same look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you like consistency. It suits it's tailored to your like personality and style.
Yeah, and then I can look at what items I want. you
Yep.
know? Yeah.
Awesome. So it's very personalised to you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyone else?
Stokes, you tell me about that one design.
I actually, this is completely.
Keep it,
but,
keep it PG, mate.
yeah. I buy Crafty Panda. It's like a sick. It comes up in the newspaper all the time. It shows like random stuff that people make stuff out of stuff. Like, it's like put it into a tree. How good is it? Yeah.
I hope everything you do on social is fun, is it? Is everything you do on social fun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, your brand, like that's your brand, right? Fun, you're a character, that's your brand to carry through.
And at the end,
Otherwise I meet you and I think you're crazy.
Like highlights and stuff, and like, you know, the boys do Hindy and whatever he's done.
Fletch. Hindy and Fletch.
Fletch, yeah, that sort of stuff, like funny stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matty John.
Yeah, Matty John's, yeah.
We grew up in the 70s and 80s. I have to admit, I do like that.
Yeah.
Comes up just stuff that I relate to.
Yep.
Just, yeah.
Perfect answer.
John, don't speak.
Anyone else got any amazing accounts to share? Yep.
It's like a swimwear, activewear account, but they've only recently released the activewear account, and they can do that because their whole account is so tailored to their product and it's all perfect. So they release a new collection, the whole Instagram scheme, until that new collection is out of interest, they run the colour scheme of the collection. So the whole Instagram
What was the
posts.
name of that one?
But yeah, they're all tailored to the collection. So if the next collection's like a vintage collection, all of the posts will be in that colour scheme, and they have massive activity on their stories and stuff, and in their reels. So like if there's a new drop, if something's coming up, if there's a sale, like that everyone knows. And they take you into the design process with their designer, and they show you how it's done. Like
So that's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Behind the scenes are great as well.
Yeah.
It's just very in depth. You get everything.
So everything you just said, it sounds like you're on their marketing team. And that's because their strategy is so obvious and everyone knows their account and what they're about, and that's branding. Like we all know what the Apple brand, we can recognize that Apple logo straight away. So that's a great example. Anyone else? Anyone follow Humans of New York?
I've got the Inked Boys of Insta for the ladies. Check that one out. That's a good one.
Sounds like porn.
Yeah. Why who doesn't know what Humans of New York is? Everyone start following it. If you don't, they have like 11.2 million followers.
Just the stories they come out with are just, quite heart-wrenching, some of them, and yeah.
Thank you, David. You perfectly segued to my quote. Social is not about selling, it's about storytelling. And I know naturally you guys are salespeople, so you're always trying to push a sales message, which is totally fine, but maybe think about different ways of selling. Think about soft selling. I did want to show you guys a video. I don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't, I'll text it to you guys all later, but who knows the brand Monster Energy? Yep, everybody? So I'm going to show you, because you're salespeople, I wanted to show you an action-paced video. I found a different video, so it's not Nemo's Garden. This is one of the best freestyle motocross riders in the world, Harry Bink. He's a rider for Monster. So you'll see in this video, they're not selling a Monster Energy drink. They're just selling their brand and showing what they're all about. And that's like a version of what I call soft selling. So, you're showing everything that your brand's about. You've got a great piece of content and video, but you're not saying, buy from me, buy this property, none of that. But it just has their branding on what he's wearing. That's it. So just think about different ways that you could potentially market your brand.
Whatever you do, believe in yourself and don't let all the doubters get in your head, because at a younger age it happened to me a lot, and it took me a long time to break through the barrier of actually hitting my goals and being in X Games, being on the Nitro Circus, to break through all the doubters that told me that I could never do something. To talk to my 5-year-old self, I just say, believe in yourself and anything you want to do, you can do it. just because there's a billion other kids in the world, they say their dreams and then because they can't work hard enough, doesn't mean you can tell that 5-year-old that he's not capable of doing his dream. I'd tell that guy, dude, go for it and do not stop. Do it like you're fighting for your last breath. The biggest challenge for me in life is mastering my thoughts and how I choose to view the world and everyone around me. Professional freestyle rider or whatever you want to do in life, if you want to be a good person, it's really important that you maintain a healthy mental state. To do that, you need to do physical activity. You need to work on yourself every single day. You need to learn. You need to do all your chores around home. You need to hustle and get stuff done. If I'm looking after my body and doing mastering all the basics in life, when I step on my bike, I know I've done everything I can do to be healthy and strong for this situation, to prevent injuries and making silly mistakes. It's really important that we are 100% focused when we put our helmets on, and it's very, very life-threatening if you have an off day and miss your trick. Man, X Games is back. Everyone's had a couple of years out. I'm really excited to see what everyone's going to bring. I believe that anything we do in life, if the vibes are there, you have everything. If you go with the right people, the right knowledge and the vibes, you can't get anything more in the room. I go pretty hard, like just with life, and I have a lot of fun. And when I do party, I'll make sure I party with the right people around the right energy. The vibe is the fuel for whatever you're doing. Skydiving to riding dirt bikes, I feel like when you start tapping into fear, it's all the same formulas. It's all about calming down your thoughts and calming down your mind to get the best out of your situation that you're doing. It's about being most comfortable when you're uncomfortable. So I thought of the times when I'm most scared, and then I was able to do those things and see how calm I can make myself when I do it. To stay focused all day was so new and challenging for me, but it taught me to stay operating at a lower level and more consistent. And I've now learned to tap that into my freestyle riding and everything else I do in life. And then have this top notch as my backup. So when I do get to somewhere like X Games, I can tap into this next level, and that's when we get the best out of our performance. I'm not going to put tricks off this. I've taught you what to do today. I've taught myself to flip that wide fear and use it as free awareness, free concentration. When I'm really scared to do something, I go, this is your free superpower kicking in to be concentrated on what you're doing. It's so important to keep the bike straight on them because the trick's gnarly enough how it is, and if it turns on you like to dirt in like an X Games run, like you will die. I've already accepted death, whatever, if it happens, it happens. I'm going to keep trying to focus and doing everything the best I can. If it comes early, but I'm going to keep working hard and make sure I do all the right preparation so it doesn't come. Getting in the ice bath on a daily basis teaches me to stay calm when I'm not calm, whether it might be being nervous around people, being scared on my dirt bike, whatever it might be. Every time I get in the ice bath, it means I can control my breathing and be a calm person in a panic situation. And if I do that on a daily basis, I can tap into this mental state anywhere at any time.
Anyone seen that before? What did you guys think of that?
So you're allowed to, Dave. got all that energy and the skydiving and.
Did you like it? Did you hate it? Any thoughts, feelings that came out of that video?
It was authentic.
Yep.
He's passionate about what he's doing.
Yep.
And the branding was subtle,
Yeah.
but consistent.
Yep.
It was always there.
I can tell you they all hate drinking Monster, but they love the brand and they work for the brand, so they do chuck in a few things of drinking the drink. Does it make you think a little bit differently about marketing?
Yeah.
You don't have to be selling yourself, you don't have to be selling a property, just telling a story.
The good agents in the room, when was the last time you actually asked for an appraisal? Long time, I bet. Because if you're doing all the right things and you got the repeat referral, they will ask you in. And that's when you know you've nailed being a sales professional. Because you're doing all those right things, you're present, you're connecting, they trust you, and then they say, would you mind coming and telling us what our home's worth? As opposed to the new agents that are on the phone all the time, not their fault, it's how you got to start. We're in the street, do you want an appraisal? There's been a just listed, a just sold. Same sort of thing. So what we want to challenge you with is with your storytelling, particularly on social media. Everyone loves real estate. They already like our product. We're just shit at delivering the message most of the time and the storytelling. So coming from that point of view that shows your personality, but also educates and gives them what they want to know, you'll get more engagement.
And how does that make you feel about Monster? For me, it makes me feel that they support people who are pushing boundaries, who are breaking world records, doing things that no one's ever done before. So I see them as an innovative brand, progressive brand. So every time I see a Monster Energy drink, I think of Harry Bink, I think of that story, and it gives me goosebumps.
It's funny because in the 80s, so when, by the way, I didn't study in the 80s, I was in primary school. But when I studied marketing after I left school, it was all around, like, remember the Marlboro Man? All this cat shit, remember? For those that are old enough. People used to pay brand ambassadors. That is coming back now because it's around the storytelling. Marketing went away from that for about 15, 20 years. It is definitely coming back. So if you're the brand ambassador for your brand, what does that stand for? By the way, you do not have to be the brand ambassador for your brand. I hate being on camera. I love presenting, but I hate being on camera. So my regrowth retreat launch, for my retreats that Alison went to, I actually do not say anything in the video. I paid a girl from Sydney that does all of Michael Coombs's marketing. But she replicated what I wanted to in branding. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, it's a message. People who never remember, very seldom will people remember what you said, what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. It's like when you go to a good restaurant, right? Or you go to a conference. They might have had the best speakers on stage, but if the food was shit in the break, what do you rate the conference on? The food. So it's how you feel and the experience. So just remember that anytime you start doing something else with marketing or invest in it, how am I going to make my customer feel when they interact with this? You get in the mask, is it crap quality and does it break when they put it on? Or is it quality, does it stand for something?
So people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I'm pretty sure Dave loves Simon Sinek as well. So he's probably showed you that, the power of why video and finding your why. If you haven't seen it, it's a TED Talk, please look it up. It's 15 minutes. So there's a bunch of real estate agents, there's lots of different offices, that people come to you because of why you do what you do, because of you, because you're different. So don't try and copy what everyone else is doing, just be yourself and show why you do what you do, show your passion, show why you love helping people find their dream homes and things like that. So just find different ways of doing that. And then in terms of how often you're posting property on your account, I'd probably only be posting about 1 or 2 properties a week.
Does anyone know what REA's budget was last year for growth and marketing? Write down this number to scare the bejesus out of you. $151 million. Can you compete with that? No. So why think of yourself as a portal? 96% of consumers that are in real estate mode right now go where?
REA.
Yeah, they don't go to your bloody social media account to buy property, people. They go to REA and Domain. Let that be the property portal. I want you guys to start being the people portal.
Exactly. Who knows how often they should be posting?
3 to 4 times a week.
When Alicia told me this, I just went, oh.
Ideally, you'd be posting once a day at 6 p.m. That's a lot, I know. Don't stress. If that's not possible, that's fine. Just try and work up to it and have a plan of how you're going to get there. How many stories on the stories section should you be sharing a day? Do you know?
Stories on Facebook.
Yep, and Instagram.
Another clue, or
5 to 7 slides. It's a lot. In an ideal world. So don't stress if you're not there.
What's your thoughts on Lisa Novak? Do you know? Have you seen the stuff?
Yep. So it's crazy because Kylie and I have had discussions about it. I watch her stuff all the time and I can't stop watching it, but I hate it at the same time. Yeah. And I'll tell you a little bit about my background because I'm not from real estate. So I've worked in agriculture and horse racing for the last 10 years. So I worked in AgChem for an ASX listed company and I had a lot to do with Elders. Elders has a phenomenal brand nationally. One of our best customers when I was working in AgChem. And I had to make AgChem sexy. It was pretty hard. But then horse racing, that's obviously a bit easier. But you guys have literally the best content of any kind of thing because everyone's dream, every single person that you ask, their dream is to own their own home.
Do you know that Elders just released a real estate campaign last week? Alicia's got a marketing, so Elders Rural Services have actually, funny, since I started with working with you guys, so Elders Rural Services have engaged our services now. So I sat in a presentation last week where they rolled out a real estate campaign. I'm like, why has Port Macquarie not seen this? You know, sometimes there's a disconnect with Elders Limited and the franchise business. So hopefully I can come in the back door now and give you guys what's being produced at that level because the company business doesn't seem to talk to the franchise business a lot of the time. But there is actually a heap of collateral being rolled out for the real estate business because they own more company offices than they do franchise. So we can start giving, making sure that you guys have got that collateral as well to help support you in your efforts and what you're doing. And it's actually really sexy marketing. Like for Elders real estate, it's really sexy marketing. It's gorgeous.
So now I'm going to say a big marketing word, content pillars. So it's hard to post once a day, right? You're like, well, shit, I don't have 7 properties to talk about. What am I going to post about? So you should only be talking about one property once a week. That's it. And I know that's going to be hard. But then, so your content, by content pillars, I mean the different elements that represent your brand. So sorry, I don't know what your name is. Daniel. So earlier when you did the branding exercise, you wrote down words like trust, integrity, all that kind of stuff. So when we devise our content pillars for our brand, so for Regrowth, for example, our content pillars are education, our team, our values. There's 7 of them, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But basically you pick themes and then when I'm creating content, create a post and make sure that I'm posting about something different each day to give my audience diversity. Because they don't want to see the same post every day. Or they don't, it's another post about property. I don't want to see that. I want to see someone's face. I want to see a group of people. I want to see a case study. I want to see a market update. I want to see, now I want to see a property. Or I want to see thank God it's Friday, a fun post. So that's how you kind of break up your week and break up your posts. So no 2 posts in a row should be just listed, sold, sold. Does that make sense?
What about sharing someone's video or you make it your own? I mean, I just look at some real estate agents, they share content and there's nothing of their own.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't look as authentic.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do that every now and then if it's, this is called where we get into collaboration marketing. So say there's someone in your business or marketing a business partner, a local coffee shop that you want to do. So I know you guys do that with your corporate brand. And so you do something together with them and you share each other's content or tag each other's content, but make sure you make it your own. Put it with your own words. Explain why you're sharing it. Oh, I really love this.
Lazy if you just share someone else's all the time.
Exactly. And that's another kind of marketing and it's not as effective. It's not going to get you results or traction. But say if you're doing a partnership post with your local coffee shop, oh, if you mention Elders real estate in store, you get a free coffee. And say you're just doing that for 1 week, and then you each take a photo with your local coffee guy and you each post it on your socials and you tag each other. That's a better way of sharing other people's content. Yeah, because you're making it your own and posting it on your channel in your voice. And whether we like it or not, I hate social media sometimes. Personally, I can't stand it, but it has completely changed how consumers buy. If you think about your last 5 purchases, were any of those online? Everything I buy and wear, everything I'm wearing today, I've bought online. And that's just the reality of what it is. So we have to try, even though we might not like doing it, we might not want to do it, I think if you want to be in real estate in the next 5 years, I think it's really good to start now and start experimenting and take inspiration from other brands like Monster, like Apple. And I know we don't have their budgets. I know the film crew that made that video, so if you guys wanted to do something with them, let me know. They're phenomenal. So think about the content that you yourself enjoy and put yourself in your shoes of your clients. Don't push stuff out if it's not stuff that you yourself would like it, comment on it, share it, save it. If you wouldn't interact with that post, then I would think twice before posting it. This is the order of the social platforms used in Australia, most used in order. So YouTube's the number 1, Facebook, then Facebook Messenger, then Instagram, then WhatsApp, then Twitter, then Snapchat, then LinkedIn, then Pinterest, then TikTok. And I'd say TikTok will continue to go up that. So who knows where their customers, which platform their customers most use? Facebook? Where do you get the most inquiries from your socials? Facebook?
I push on my prospective buyers. I actually, when I first meet them, especially when I open houses now, I push them that all my social media will get the properties coming soon first.
Yep.
So I do get a lot of my inquiries through Facebook or Instagram.
And that's what Lisa Novak does. That's why she works, because she makes it, this creates this big sense of FOMO that if you don't get this now, someone's going to buy this on social media. You're getting it pre-market, pre-anyone else. If you don't buy this now, then it's gone. And that's really good. But I think there's a better way you could also do it than, I think that her model's probably not super sustainable.
Yeah. No, I need to do it as an extra method.
Yeah.
Social's obviously a big platform, everyone's on it. But
yeah.
I just push the buyers to make that known that if they want to be in front of everyone else, to follow my socials to see coming soon properties.
When you guys meet your clients or a potential client, do you say, oh, let's follow each other on social? Is that ever a conversation that you have?
God, no. Never.
Just my business.
Do you guys link in though as a part of your appraisal?
And that's
we've
okay
gone
that
through
they
this
don't
before.
as well.
As a part of your appraisal call and pitch, when you hang up the phone, you're putting them into agent box or doing whatever you're doing, it's making sure that you're going in and connecting with them on LinkedIn. It's important. As a part of your pitch.
Should be doing it before you're meeting them.
When you hang up the appraisal call.
Yeah, I'll be doing it like when I go out for like a job interview or anything.
Correct.
I'll always go to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
I sent everyone a checklist to follow after we did that last training session. It's one of the checklists on there.
So I want you to write down now what you think good content is. Think about, do you like videos? Do you like photos? Do you like educational posts? Just write down some ideas for yourself and think, or write down examples of other accounts that you follow and why you like their content, and then take those ideas to your marketing teams or whoever you outsource to and say, this is the kind of stuff I want to try and experiment creating more content like this.
Besides the market wrap, does anyone do regular video?
Every week.
TV does them every week. Look at Walsh. Lucy do every Saturday.
Yeah, I find that the live video versus the monthly, and that's filmed and prepared, the raw video has more
Yeah. 500%.
Yeah, and people are wanting you to make mistakes, or not. What I mean?
See you over there.
They find more authentic because they're.
Yeah, it's not scripted.
It's not scripted at all.
But you still do your month that was, and that's statistical. As opposed to
Really? Which way do you help Aaron and do a walkthrough?
Yeah, wait till Nat twists it.
Last time I checked, John, the only one using that technology, mate. So.
Upside down deductions here is going all right. Okay. 21 views I had on one.
There you go.
On Saturday.
41
So like
views.
21
Just
likes
about
around,
it.
everyone has to do a handstand to be able to watch it.
Yeah, on their computer.
John, you've done well moving on from Morse code, mate.
Moving on, don't engage too.
Please, he still start with smoke signals.
Yeah.
Has everyone written something down? Got some homework? Cool. There's something that Dave said at the start of this session that I fundamentally believe in, and I'm not perfect at social media. We're not perfect at social media yet, but it's that 1% that we're always trying to improve on every day. So there's all these technical tips and tricks that you can do to get the best out of your post, and just trying to, and social changes every single day, unfortunately, so we're always on our toes, always trying to get better. But the 1% things that you can do, you'll start to see a difference. And I'll give you an example of something really great that happened to us. Was I posted something on social and used the hashtag Brisbane Real Estate, and we made a sale for one of our retreats. We sold 2 tickets off that, of someone who'd never heard of Kylie, they'd never heard of regrowth, and it was just from using one hashtag. And hashtags improve the performance of your post by 1%, 1 to 5%. But do your hashtag research. Adding location. So I did a mini audit of your accounts, and something most people, I don't think I saw anyone add a location to their post and check in. That, you do that?
I've done it on a couple of posts, and I'll admit the couple that I've done it on.
Yep.
I've gotten like engagements from like companies that, or people that don't follow my stuff. Like I did it on one, and the grocery store next door, like followed by and that sort of stuff. I didn't realise that.
Yep.
Really powerful for your patches. If you go to a coffee shop, you go to a cafe in your area, check in. It's adding value to them. Very true. Things like that.
Yep. So social's time consuming. Sometimes it might take an hour to do one post. It's really frustrating, I know. But making this part of your routine, I have all my hashtags saved in my notes folder on my phone, and I just copy and paste them in. Don't use the same hashtags all the time. You need to modify them and make them relevant to every single post. If I was looking for property in real estate, I would research by real estate Port Macquarie, that hashtag, and see what's available. I'd go there first before, I'd probably go to Google, but if I was on Instagram thinking, oh, I kind of want to buy something, I'd go to a hashtag and just search it straight away. Yep. Cool. Any questions? I know some people might not know how to do that.
We've got a marketing department. We've got access to so many resources, so it's a matter of setting up individual meetings with Laura to go through how to drive all this stuff or to get help.
Exactly, yeah.
We've got the resources, just make it up.
Yeah, if you don't know how to do something, just ask. I YouTube stuff all the time, every day, probably. How do I do this? How do I do that? It's great. But the other thing is like everyone who is actually even attempting social, you're doing a great job. Just keep going. It's not saying that you're doing it wrong unless you end up on Lords of Property, which would probably get you good exposure anyway, but for your brand. So just try things. And if something works really well, please share it with your team as well. Say, oh, I did this video on this market route. I got huge results. Maybe you guys should try it for your accounts. So you should.
You did an awesome one the other day, mate, before the auction even started. Nate, you did a snapshot home. It's a little video, and then got the result. Did a video afterwards, like this. But that was awesome.
That was live too. No, it wasn't live. We just did it. A quick video before.
Can you send that to us?
And how you guys can help each other and help your performance. So when you post something, this is something a lot of people don't know, that first half an hour after you post something, you need to be trying to reply to anyone who comments on it. You need to be trying, so every single person, once you post something, everyone in your team should be commenting on your post and liking it. And I know that that gets repetitive and it's time consuming, but just with the algorithm in terms of performance, it will keep boosting that if people are engaging with that post. So you really need to all help each other out.
I think even just on our personal profiles, if we can get in the habit of liking and commenting at least on everyone's stuff, not necessarily sharing it.
No, yeah, that's
then at
right.
least it gives us a bigger boost on all of our stuff.
Yeah.
When I do my market overview on Saturday afternoon, and I'm in two minds whether I do this, if you know if another company's actually had a good sale on the weekend, do you give them recognition in it? What's your thoughts?
I would recognise the sale, but I wouldn't recognise the brand.
Yep.
Because a franchise company might go to town with you legally on that.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything to sort of say, like,
Yeah,
it was a
public
cracker.
documents.
You don't have to say the street number, you just say the street.
Yeah.
So you might say, oh, that great result in Hercules Street in North Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing is just be yourself on social media. I posted a video on Kylie's regrowth page yesterday of me. I hated it, but
She was really happy about me making her do it.
you just have to do it and show your face and talk, and that's how you build trust, because there's only so many clients you can get by doing face-to-faces. So doing social if you want a growth of 5% a year, you might reach, an audience of people who've never heard or seen of you before. If you do it for social for a year, you might have improved your reach by 20%. So is it worth doing? Yep, 100%. And that, or in 12 months' time, you can tell me that I made all that up. I'm just going to skip ahead to my 4 golden rules. Does it add value? Is it helping people? Is it solving their problems? Is it answering their frequently asked questions? Is it helping them on their property journey? If it's not, if the answer's no, if you don't think it's going to add value to your community, then maybe question why you're posting it, or change the content, change how you frame it. Is it something that you yourself enjoy? If not, maybe don't post it. Is it scroll stopping good? So is it funny? Is it memorable? Does it give people some education on something? And then, my 4th one is show up and show your face. Because you are your brand.
So guys, as a minimum, with like this calendar you've got on the back, we really want you to have a think about this after today. I've been doing this for 27 years. Easter hasn't changed. End of financial year hasn't changed. Spring hasn't changed. So what are the things that don't change for you every year that you can drop into this calendar and sit down with your videographer when you come back in January and record everything that you can for the year in the areas now, right? Does it change how someone bids at auction seasonally? No, it does not. The forms of ID that you need, what you need from a compliance point of view, what you need your solicitor to check, doesn't change, right? So a lot of that stuff can be pre-recorded, you might write it. It's taking yourself out of your business and working on it. And it's a term that gets bantered around. So when Dave came over to my retreat as an example, he hated the first day. You should see how agitated he was the first day. I'm too busy for this bullshit. I shouldn't be here. I can't be away from the business. And by the second day, he's like, oh God, I'm getting so much done. I'm achieving so much. By the third day, he's like, I need another 2 days here on strategy. It's no different for you guys. Start working on, and you started working on some of this stuff from the retreat as well. You guys are running your own business. You are your own office, and you need to think about it. If you don't have the skill set around this, you've got sales coaches. You got every bloody coach in Australia comes to your office. I'm telling you now. Like anyone that's anyone that is a coach in your office, just reach out. I need some help with this. Where do I start? What does it look like? But you need to reinvest in your brand. Imagine if Dave didn't reinvest back into marketing or the brand. What would happen? Sorry?
Dwindle away.
Yeah, 500%. So back to that business growth. To summarise and close in the last 3 or 4 minutes, I want you guys to write on a rigid bit of notepaper for us, what was the best thing for you out of today's training, what resonated with you, and what are you going to do out of today? If you're not going to do anything out of today, don't come to my training anymore. And then if you can just hand it up the front. Because we might work with your sales coaches with your permission and marketing on accountability. Alicia's got the whole afternoon with the marketing team. And I know 2 hours is a lot, so we are very grateful. Holding salespeople in a room for 2 hours is never easy, so thank you. And I know you've got so much to do. We really appreciate you giving us your time.
The other thing I want you guys to take away from today is I believe marketing should be the best part of your business. It should be the most fun. It's the opportunity for you guys to tell your success, your process, your hardships, talk about your story. It should be the funnest part of what you do. And it should be easy. And I know that we talked about a lot of theory today, but once you set up systems and processes and understand the theory, then it does get easier and easier. And the more you practice it, like we are constantly getting better. So always look at your insights and actually learn from the data, make data-informed decisions from those insights. And that's something that pretty much, like I'd say 90% of businesses never use their analytics or insights and actually implement them. So yeah.
Spring, guys, what I would be doing, whether it be social, radio, letterbox drops, text messages out to your market, what might I want to know as a consumer? Buying or selling?
Selling.
Pardon?
Selling.
What might I want to know from you guys as my local real estate advisor?
What the market's like.
Yep.
What's a great time of year to sell?
Average day of the month.
You guys are going to find out from last time I was here, the buyer migration from Sydney, how many buyers actually, the 869 sales in Port Macquarie last year, how many of those buyers came from Sydney?
868.
868.
I was kidding. Sorry.
Thank you. Logics, Rob. So just looked at it before I came up.
40%.
Is that 40%? Are you bullshitting me or is it?
No, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah. So again, sales coaches, that's a report from REA and Domain. That would be great. That going out to your customers.
Oh, did you?
Present head.
Just in case I lose my paper, because everything's digital for me.
By how much? 14% growth. What does that mean for stock to market? We got nothing to sell. Sydney's going to open up. We got no one here. Let's get ready now to get you the best possible price, an optimum time frame. Short and sharp. Text it to everyone that's in pipeline on your database in the next week. Then send them something else the following week. So you know that little app that I told you guys about last time, the CallLogic app? What I would do is I would break that down into 3 messaging things. Either 3 social, 3 on text, 3 in your database, whatever it is. You'll get something we can use. Cut things out, cut it straight out. I'd say there's masks coming to town.
Who's finished theirs?
Just remember my little caveat disclaimer, make sure you get together with
Thank
probably
you.
the sales coaches and talk about what you want, and then they can go to Dave and say, hey, the team are ready to support this. Everyone's going to throw in $500 each, and we want to get 10,000 masks. As an example.
Can everyone get their phone out, follow Regrowth, and I'll follow you all back. And this is a habit you should be getting into with your clients or anyone that you meet that you think could be a potential client. Just say, hey, follow me on social so I can keep up to date with what you're doing.
And if I've asked you to share something with me today, because I put it in presentations, I'm presenting
Thank you.
at a conference in Port Douglas in a couple of weeks with the top 30 brands from Melbourne. I'd love to be able to showcase your market at that conference.
Thank you.
So if you've got good stuff, send it to me and I'll share it. Okay guys, go have some wins. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yes.
You sometimes do like competitions on social media, and sometimes they don't get much coverage. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I'd have to look at the ones you've done. Let's pull it all up, look at the data, look at the ones that worked, the ones that didn't work and why. Could be the timing you're posting them, could be you're not tagging anyone, not hashtagging things, not engaging, doing like a bit of a teaser or a lead up to the giveaway. And like when you post, oh, we're doing a giveaway, people haven't kind of been brought on that journey, had that teaser like, hey, stay tuned for something fun next week, and like say any guesses, like trying to get people to engage on the post, comment it. So then when you drop it a few days later, they've kind of been warmed up.
Yeah, they're ready. Or,
Yeah.
or they watch whatever
Yeah.
is normal.